Kazakhstan has recently decided to refrain from submitting an application to join BRICS, the economic bloc comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This decision was articulated by Bilateral, the press secretary to President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, who stated that Kazakhstan will most likely not pursue BRICS membership in the foreseeable future, citing the multi-stage application process and other developmental considerations. This move underscores Kazakhstan's commitment to a balanced and pragmatic foreign policy, often referred to as a multi-vector approach. By maintaining equidistant relations with major global powers, Kazakhstan seeks to preserve its sovereignty and avoid over-reliance on any single bloc. This strategy is particularly pertinent given the nation's geographical positioning between Russia and China, both of which are influential BRICS members. Economically, Kazakhstan has been diversifying its partnerships. In 2023, trade with China reached a record $41 billion, marking a 32% increase over the previous year. Simultaneously, trade with Russia remained robust, with figures around $27 billion. These statistics highlight Kazakhstan's ability to engage in substantial economic activities with BRICS nations without formal membership. Domestically, the decision aligns with Kazakhstan's emphasis on national interests and the principles of the United Nations. President Tokayev has consistently advocated for the UN as the primary platform for addressing international issues, emphasizing the importance of a fair and democratic world order free from the hegemony of any superpowers. In summary, Kazakhstan's choice to pause its BRICS application reflects a strategic assessment of its geopolitical and economic priorities. By doing so, the nation aims to maintain its diplomatic flexibility, uphold its multi-vector foreign policy, and continue fostering diverse international partnerships that align with its national interests. Let's begin by providing an overview of BRICS to set the stage for Kazakhstan's decision. BRICS is an acronym that stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, 5 major emerging economies that have significant regional and global influence. Established formally in 2009, the group was initially just BRIC until South Africa joined in 2010, adding a crucial link to the African continent. The primary purpose of BRICS is to foster cooperation and coordination among its members in economic, political, and cultural spheres. These countries aim to reshape the global economic landscape by promoting a more multipolar world order that reduces the dominance of traditional Western powers like the United States and European Union. They collaborate on issues such as trade, investment, infrastructure development, and even coordination in international forums like the United Nations. One of the most significant achievements of BRICS is the creation of the New Development Bank, NDB, in 2014. Headquartered in Shanghai, the NDB was established to mobilize resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging economies. This move was seen as a direct challenge to Western-dominated financial institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, offering an alternative source of funding with potentially fewer political strings attached. In recent years, there's been a noticeable increase in interest from other countries seeking to join BRICS. Nations like Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt have either formally applied or expressed strong interest in becoming members. This growing list reflects the appeal of BRICS as a platform for emerging economies to amplify their voices on the global stage and to collaborate on mutual interests without the influence of Western hegemonies. For instance, during the BRICS summit in August 2023, the group announced the admission of 6 new members: Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, set to join in January 2024. This expansion signifies BRICS' evolving role from a bloc of 5 nations to a broader coalition representing diverse regions, including Africa, the Middle East, and Latin America. The expansion has significant implications. It not only increases the economic clout of BRICS, potentially accounting for a larger share of global GDP and trade, but also enhances its geopolitical influence. The inclusion of major oil producers like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, for example, could impact global energy markets and policies. This growing interest and expansion highlight the shifting dynamics in international relations, where emerging economies are seeking greater representation and autonomy in global affairs. They are looking to platforms like BRICS to address imbalances in global governance structures and to collaborate on common challenges such as sustainable development, climate change, and trade inequalities. Understanding this context is crucial when examining Kazakhstan's position. As an emerging economy strategically located between Europe and Asia, Kazakhstan's interactions with BRICS nations and its considerations regarding membership are influenced by these broader developments within the group. Kazakhstan's initial interest in joining BRICS was driven by several strategic motivations aimed at enhancing its economic prospects, political engagement, and regional influence. 1. Economic cooperation. Kazakhstan sought to deepen economic ties with BRICS nations to diversify its trade partnerships and attract foreign investment. In 2022, Kazakhstan's trade turnover with BRICS countries exceeded $50 billion, highlighting the significance of these economic relationships. By joining BRICS, Kazakhstan aimed to tap into the collective economic strength of the bloc, which represents a substantial portion of global GDP and population. This integration was expected to open new markets for Kazakh goods and services, fostering economic growth and resilience. 2. Political dialogue. Engagement with BRICS offered Kazakhstan a platform for political dialogue with major emerging economies. This alignment was seen as an opportunity to collaborate on global issues such as sustainable development, climate change, and international security. Kazakhstan's participation in BRICS meetings, including the attendance of First Deputy Foreign Minister Kairat Umarov at the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting in Cape Town in June 2023, underscored its commitment to contributing to multilateral discussions and shaping policies that reflect the interests of developing nations. 3. Regional influence. Joining BRICS was also viewed as a means to bolster Kazakhstan's regional influence, particularly in Central Asia. As a country strategically located between Europe and Asia, Kazakhstan aimed to leverage BRICS membership to enhance its role as a bridge between different regions. This position would enable Kazakhstan to advocate for Central Asian interests within a larger international framework, promoting regional stability and development. Additionally, Kazakhstan's involvement in initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative and the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route aligns with BRICS' focus on connectivity and infrastructure development, further solidifying its regional leadership aspirations. In summary, Kazakhstan's initial application to join BRICS was motivated by a strategic vision to enhance economic cooperation, engage in meaningful political dialogue, and strengthen its regional influence. These objectives aligned with Kazakhstan's broader goals of fostering sustainable development and contributing to a more balanced global order. In October 2024, Kazakhstan announced its decision to pause its application for BRICS membership. This development was communicated by Bilateral, the press secretary to President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, who stated that Kazakhstan would most likely refrain from submitting an application to BRICS in the foreseeable future, citing the multi-stage membership process and other factors related to the association's development. This decision came ahead of the BRICS summit held in Kazan, Russia, from October 22 to 24, 2024, which President Tokayev attended as a guest. During the summit, discussions centered on the expansion of BRICS, with countries like Malaysia and Azerbaijan officially applying for membership and Turkey indicating interest. Kazakhstan's choice to pause its application reflects a strategic assessment of its national interests and foreign policy objectives. The country has been closely monitoring the evolution of BRICS and supports the calls of the leaders of the founding states to build a fair, democratic world order free from the hegemony of any superpowers. By refraining from immediate membership, Kazakhstan maintains its multi-vector foreign policy, allowing it to engage with a diverse range of international partners without aligning too closely with any single bloc. This approach enables Kazakhstan to preserve its diplomatic flexibility and continue fostering relationships that align with its national interests. Kazakhstan's geopolitical landscape is profoundly influenced by its strategic location, nestled between two major powers, Russia to the north and China to the east. This positioning necessitates a delicate balancing act in its foreign policy to safeguard national sovereignty and promote economic development. Historically, Kazakhstan has maintained robust ties with Russia, sharing deep cultural, economic, and political connections. As a member of the Eurasian Economic Union (EAU), Kazakhstan collaborates closely with Russia on economic policies and trade. Simultaneously, Kazakhstan has cultivated a strong partnership with China, particularly through initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), which has led to significant Chinese investments in Kazakh infrastructure and energy sectors. While BRICS membership offers potential economic benefits, it also raises concerns about Kazakhstan's sovereignty. Aligning more closely with a bloc that includes Russia and China could lead to increased influence from these powers over Kazakhstan's domestic and foreign policies. For instance, deeper integration might pressure Kazakhstan to support positions that align with Russian or Chinese interests, potentially compromising its ability to act independently on the global stage. Kazakhstan has pursued a multi-vector foreign policy, striving to maintain balanced relations with Western countries alongside its ties with Russia and China. This approach has facilitated partnerships with the United States and European Union, attracting investments and fostering cooperation in areas like energy, education, and security. For example, Kazakhstan has collaborated with Western companies in developing its oil and gas industries, contributing to its economic diversification. In summary, Kazakhstan's decision to pause its BRICS application reflects a strategic assessment of its geopolitical environment. By maintaining a balanced foreign policy, Kazakhstan aims to preserve its sovereignty, leverage its strategic location, and continue fostering diverse international partnerships that align with its national interests. Kazakhstan's economic landscape is predominantly characterized by its substantial reliance on oil and gas exports. The hydrocarbon sector generated about 20% of GDP in 2022, it was 23% in 2019. Oil export volumes were not much different in 2022 than 2021, but oil export revenues jumped 51% to $48.4 billion last year because of higher prices. This heavy dependence on hydrocarbons exposes Kazakhstan to the volatility of global energy markets. Fluctuations in oil prices can lead to significant economic instability, as observed during the oil price downturns in 2014 and 2020, which adversely affected the nation's fiscal revenues and economic growth. Recognizing these vulnerabilities, the Kazakh government has prioritized economic diversification to build resilience and ensure sustainable development. Efforts to diversify have included investments in sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and services. For instance, Kazakhstan has been increasing its production of metals used in electric vehicle (EV) batteries by issuing hundreds of new exploration licenses to attract investment. The country aims to become a key player in the supply chain for battery materials such as lithium, cobalt, manganese, nickel, and graphite. Aligning too closely with BRICS could present challenges to Kazakhstan's diversification strategy. While BRICS membership offers access to new markets and investment opportunities, it may also lead to over-reliance on economies that are themselves resource-dependent or have divergent economic priorities. This alignment could potentially limit Kazakhstan's ability to pursue independent economic policies tailored to its diversification goals. Moreover, Kazakhstan's membership in the Eurasian Economic Union (EAEU) adds another layer of complexity. The EAEU facilitates economic integration with Russia, Belarus, Armenia, and Kyrgyzstan, impacting trade dynamics and regulatory frameworks. For example, Kazakhstan's trade turnover with Russia was around $27 billion in 2022. Joining BRICS could necessitate reconciling EAEU commitments with BRICS initiatives, potentially leading to conflicting obligations and trade policies. In terms of foreign investment, Kazakhstan has been successful in attracting capital from a diverse range of countries, including significant investments from the European Union and the United States. Aligning more closely with BRICS might raise concerns among Western investors regarding Kazakhstan's geopolitical orientation, potentially affecting investment flows. For instance, Germany aims to expand its trade with Kazakhstan while ensuring that this trade does not lead to the circumvention of EU sanctions on Russia. In summary, while BRICS membership could offer economic benefits, Kazakhstan must carefully consider the potential risks to its diversification efforts, foreign investment climate, and existing trade commitments within the EAEU. A balanced approach that maintains economic independence and flexibility appears prudent for sustaining long-term growth and stability. Kazakhstan's decision to pause its application for BRICS membership is deeply rooted in its domestic political landscape, reflecting considerations of public sentiment, recent political transitions, and the government's commitment to maintaining legitimacy and stability. Kazakhstan's populace places a high value on national sovereignty and is cautious about foreign alliances that might compromise the country's independence. This sentiment has been shaped by historical experiences, including the legacy of Soviet control and the desire to assert a distinct national identity. Engaging in alliances perceived as aligning too closely with major powers like Russia and China could raise concerns among citizens about potential erosion of sovereignty. For instance, public opinion studies have indicated mixed feelings towards organizations such as the Collective Security Treaty Organization, CSTO, with some segments of the population expressing apprehension about external influence on domestic affairs. Kazakhstan has undergone significant political transitions in recent years, notably the resignation of long-serving President Nursultan Nazarbayev in 2019 and the subsequent election of Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. These changes have prompted a re-evaluation of both domestic and foreign policies. President Tokayev has emphasized a balanced and pragmatic approach to international relations, aiming to maintain Kazakhstan's multi-vector foreign policy. This strategy seeks to engage with multiple global powers without overcommitting to any single bloc, thereby preserving flexibility and autonomy in foreign affairs. The decision to pause the BRICS application aligns with this approach, allowing the government to assess the evolving geopolitical landscape and ensure that any international commitments serve the nation's best interests. The Kazakh government is acutely aware that its legitimacy and stability are closely tied to public perception and national unity. Engaging in foreign alliances that might be viewed as compromising national sovereignty could lead to domestic unrest or diminish public trust in leadership. By pausing the BRICS application, the government demonstrates responsiveness to public concerns and a commitment to making foreign policy decisions that reflect the will of the people. This move also provides the administration with the opportunity to focus on internal reforms and address pressing domestic issues without the added complexity of new international obligations. In summary, Kazakhstan's decision to pause its BRICS membership application is a strategic choice influenced by domestic political considerations. It reflects a careful balancing act between engaging in beneficial international partnerships and preserving national sovereignty, all while maintaining public trust and ensuring political stability during a period of significant transition. Looking ahead, Kazakhstan's decision to pause its BRICS membership application does not preclude the possibility of future engagement with the bloc. The nation's leadership has indicated that while an application is not imminent, the door remains open for potential membership as geopolitical and economic conditions evolve. This cautious approach allows Kazakhstan to observe the outcomes of BRICS' recent expansion, which now includes countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Egypt, and assess how these changes align with its national interests. In the interim, Kazakhstan is likely to focus on strengthening bilateral relations with individual BRICS nations. For instance, trade turnover with China reached a record $41 billion in 2022, marking a 32% increase over the previous year. Similarly, trade with Russia remained robust, with figures around $27 billion. These statistics highlight Kazakhstan's ability to engage in substantial economic activities with BRICS nations without formal membership. By enhancing these bilateral ties, Kazakhstan can reap the benefits of cooperation in areas such as energy, infrastructure, and technology, while maintaining the flexibility to pursue its own foreign policy objectives. Navigating the complex international landscape remains a critical task for Kazakhstan. The nation must balance its relationships with major powers like Russia and China, both of which are influential BRICS members, while also engaging with Western countries and regional organizations. This multi-vector foreign policy aims to safeguard Kazakhstan's sovereignty and promote economic development. For example, Kazakhstan has been increasing its production of metals used in electric vehicle (EV) batteries by issuing hundreds of new exploration licenses to attract investment. The country aims to become a key player in the supply chain for battery materials such as lithium, cobalt, manganese, nickel, and graphite. This strategy not only diversifies Kazakhstan's economic partnerships but also positions it as a significant player in emerging global industries. In summary, while Kazakhstan has paused its BRICS membership application, it continues to engage actively with BRICS nations on a bilateral basis and remains open to future multilateral cooperation. This approach reflects a nuanced understanding of the geopolitical environment and a commitment to pursuing a foreign policy that aligns with national interests and global realities. In summary, Kazakhstan's decision to pause its application for BRICS membership reflects a strategic assessment of its geopolitical and economic priorities. By doing so, the nation aims to maintain its diplomatic flexibility, uphold its multi-vector foreign policy, and continue fostering diverse international partnerships that align with its national interests.